How are we doing, everyone? um, well, this podcast was actually meant to come out. Hang on, let me just sort something out real quick. Otherwise, we're gonna have fucked up audio. Let's have a look. Just lower that down a bit. There we go. That should be a little bit better. I might be a bit more quiet, but there won't be any clipping on the on the audio. But yeah, so normally I do the podcast in the evening on a Sunday, but I had to postpone it till this morning, which sucks because the whole podcast was based around the Super Bowl and all that. But you know, we'll improvise. So basically the topics we have today is we got the intro, which we're on now. We've got just like a brief sort of recap of my week. This is a very recap focused podcast. We got recap of this week in media, this week in gaming, questions from Instagram, and then that's it. Doesn't sound like a lot, but we'll make some in a bit. But yeah, I'm actually kind of just focusing for like a nice chill podcast this morning. How's everyone doing on this fine Monday morning? Who doesn't love a good Monday? For those of you on iTunes that can't see me, yeah, the reason like it might go quiet every now and then, it's because I'm drinking tea. I'm a Brit. It's a necessity. Haha. God, I want to die. But anyway, yeah, it's been a bit of a long week. You know what? It's seemed very uneventful, but upon sort of like writing up the notes for this podcast, it made me realize how much has actually gone on. Not in my life. My life's boring as shit. I just mean in general, like in the media, it's been pretty crazy. But yeah, I'm currently going through the interview process at a place in Bristol and a place in Clacton. Both are software development roles, but yeah, just waiting to hear back from them. Also looking at radio work as well. I mean, I fucking love doing this podcast. It's great. It's like a really nice time to sort of just chill and just talk, you know? So actually being able to do my hobby as a career, that's definitely something that I I want to look into. But this week in media, I mean, I was like, what's actually, you know, kind of happened? But you had the Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer was released literally just before the Super Bowl. You know what? I think it'll be good. I think it'll be like a nice sort of, because no one expects an Ant-Man movie to be everybody's favorite, you know? I mean, he's Ant-Man. It's going to be like an enjoyable flick. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's nothing, you know, it's always been lighthearted, just sort of chill. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Especially the vibe they're going for. Apparently it's going to be a romantic, a rom-com in the MCU. From the trailer so far, it doesn't seem to have that. Like, it's kind of lacking that sort of identity. But in future trailers, we might get it. You know, they might just be trying to hype up the audience. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Definitely looking forward to the next trailer. But it looks like fun. Should be enjoyable. And just the MCU on the whole, it's just getting massive, you know? Like, I mean, of course, Disney struck the deal with Fox, or struck the deal. They're buying them out, but I mean, of course, none of that's finalized. Tea break. None of it's finalized, but let's be honest, it's gonna go through. You know what? I actually really like this. I think I might do the podcasts like of a Monday morning from now on, and post them to iTunes in like the evening or something. But yeah, as I was saying, there's so much on the horizon, you know, like endless possibility. And you know, I look forward to seeing what they do with each and every character that they now own. And I'm sorry, but if they don't make a squirrel movie, Squirrel Girl movie, I'm gonna be fucking upset. But I also saw Thor Ragnarok this week as well. Because some of you people that watch the podcast or have seen the podcast before, it's been brought up several times and I hadn't seen it. But I watched it now and it was pretty good. It's definitely as good as we're going to get for a Planet Hulk movie. I do want to see him do World War Hulk. That'd be fucking great. But they're not going to. That was honestly the storyline that got me into comics when I was younger. I was, like, when I saw the trailers, I was kind of skeptical about Korg. They kind of changed him up from Planet Hulk, but he was alright. I mean, I was feeling, I thought it wasn't going to be too great, but what can I say? They nailed it. Not a big fan of the lightheartedness, though. I think they should really save that for the Guardians, because each Marvel movie that has, like, really succeeded has, like, their own identity. Like, The Winter Soldier, for example, is sort of like a spy thriller. Guardians of the Galaxy has its unique color palette and humor, because you got to imagine before then there wasn't that humor in the MCU. They all have their own sort of individuality, but Thor's sort of unique selling point was he was the serious part of the MCU. And don't get me wrong, the film was fucking hilarious, but it does feel kind of out of place. Like, I mean, let's just say you sat down and was like, right, son, people in the room, we're going to watch the Thor trilogy. We're going to do it. We're going to sit and watch Thor 1, Thor 2, and Thor 3. And you're going to watch Thor 1 and Thor 2 and think, right, okay, there's a general sort of theme going on here. Then you watch Thor 3 and then you're like, well, shit, this is just so completely different. It just, and sometimes it took you out of it, but it was a fucking great movie. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty damn good. But, yeah, it was good. Enjoyable. I also saw The Last Jedi again. This was quite a while back, but when I done my sort of review on the podcast before, that was only after one viewing, and my main sort of takeaway was it was really good, but I still feel like I need to watch it again. And now that I have, I can wholeheartedly say I still think it's really damn good. Of course, there are massive flaws. Sorry, there's a dog trying to jump up. But it has its flaws, but the high points really do make up for the awful lows. She's still trying to get up. How are you doing, Jess? It's quite funny. I've literally got like so many wires under my desk. Her face is like in amongst all of them. How is she like putting up with this shit? Anyways, it was good. There was a lot of foreshadowing that I'd noticed that I didn't notice the first time around, which was really nice. And I love it when filmmakers add sort of a foreshadowing. I actually watched a video earlier this week with Jordan Peele, the director of Get Out, and he basically discussed fan theories that have been posted on Reddit, and quite a lot of them were actually true, and like subtle little details that he'd left in, which, props to filmmakers when they do put in that like insane amount of effort to just for the 1% that actually look for them little details. It's nice that they leave them in for them. But anyway, this is where you see that the podcast stated. The Super Bowl was yesterday. I actually asked on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram at Jordan_Reed. I asked on Instagram who people are rooting for. Let's go get up the poll. See what people were saying. People were also saying that they want to see me stream Pokken Tournament. Might do that at some point. Right, we had 67% were voting for the Eagles, me being one of them, and 33% for the Patriots. And then I also posted another snap saying, or neither, because it's an American event for American Yanks. And that was separated into two separate polls. It got 60-40, but whatever. So those were the results. And yeah, the Eagles won. Actually quite surprised. But, you know, takes all sorts to make the world go round. Now, yesterday I was going to speculate whether they was going to release a Han Solo trailer. It's no use speculating because we already know. Yeah, they released a short little clip for the Han Solo movie. You could say for his solo movie. I'll see myself out. Oh, tea's fucking great. Anyway, so you do get to see the Falcon, which looks great. It's all clean. Holy shit, it's snowing like hell. Jesus Christ, this is Britain. We're not used to snow. Is that snow? Oh no, it's hail. I'm so glad I'm inside. Oh, I've got a driving lesson today. This is gonna suck. But where was I? Oh yeah, we saw the Millennium Falcon was all clean, but that's because it hadn't been through half the adventures that it had been through in not in Han Solo, in A New Hope. But it looked really good. We get to see what's his face? What's his name? Troy from Community. He was in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Fuck. He sounds like Danny Glover. Donald Glover. Got there in the end. We got Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian. It's all looking pretty good. Although, well, see, the thing was that it's like suddenly just stopped altogether. Anyway, British weather for you. It's been really weird because I'm really not looking forward to that movie. There's so many ways that they could butcher the character and just completely screw it all up, and put sort of like it sort of taint the character, But from what's been shown so far, and it was only a small clip, it looks pretty good. But there's plenty of time for them to fuck it up. It's a feature-length film. We only saw 45 seconds of it. We can't base much opinion on it until the full trailer's out. But yeah, it's definitely interesting, and I really don't like Woody Harrelson, which is kind of a downer on the movie. And they haven't got Anthony Gruber as Han Solo, so that's another error on the studio's part. Should have cast him. But yeah, I was also kind of thinking, this was like my prediction, was that there was going to be an Infinity War ad, and there was as well. Now, I'm not going to get too into that because I'm actually being quite the pacifist when it comes to Infinity War stuff. I mean, I'm normally the type of guy that will break down trailers and just watch like theories and everything, but it just kind of ruins the movie going experience. I kind of want to sit there and just sort of be amazed, It was sort of like what, if you guys have seen Tasteful Moustache, I think it was number 3 with Rob, where we basically talked about the Star Wars TV show, and he was like, I don't even want to try and think what it is, because I just sort of I want them to show it to me, and for me to just think, wow, that's a fucking amazing idea. And I totally agree with that, and I kind of want that for Infinity War. Yeah, because I mean, Lego have a knack for spoiling everything, don't they, with their Lego sets? And I remember seeing something, I'm not going to spoil it, but I saw something, and I just thought to myself, I really wish that wasn't spoiled. So, you know what, let's just hope nothing else gets spoiled. And we'll segue over to the next topic, which is This Week in Gaming. EA is still a punch bag. Move on. No. So yeah, EA is still the punching bag. I think they're going to be the butt of everyone's joke for a very long time. And in other news, Nintendo Switch actually outsold the Wii U by 1 million units. I'm not sure whether that was this week, or well, technically last week, or the week before that, but I still think that's really impressive. The Nintendo Switch has, been out how long? It came out March 3rd. It's nearly a year, but it's already outsold the lifetime that Wii U's been out. I mean, we all know that the issues with the Wii U was that it was marketed for children and made to look like a Nintendo Wii extension, which was why people didn't buy into it. And you know, I don't blame them. I remember someone I know got a Wii U, and I thought it was pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't something that I would have gone out of my way to have gotten. Zombie U was pretty cool. Mario Maker, great. There were some gems, but no one could play the gems because no one was buying the system, you know? And that's another thing, is that everyone's complaining about ports for the Switch, but a lot of us haven't played them games before because they were solely on the Wii U, and no one bought a Wii U. Well, some people did, but, you know, not as many as the Switch, which is a really good sign for the console as well. I bloody love my Switch. I play it all the time. I actually want to start streaming on it. It's great, and the portability aspect's just amazing. I've actually got my dock right here. But yeah, it's really good. So if you haven't got one, I definitely recommend picking one up. Especially, it sort of brings me back to when co-op was so big. You know, like local multiplayer. It's just so easy. I went up to see my friends James and Rob and all that, and I took the train, but due to rail work, it was replacement buses. Me and Con, who was on the second episode of Tasteful Moustache, we took the bus, and we just sort of sat there and was like, do you want to play some Bomberman? And it was like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. And we just sort of sat there and played Bomberman. It was just great, you know? And that's what gaming is. It's drop in, drop out, fun. You don't play for a million hours just to unlock Darth fucking Vader. Yeah, I'm still pissed at you, EA. Go kill yourself. I'm joking. That was way too far. No. Jesus. No, to be honest, it was a good idea for them to get money, but it just didn't play off well. And to be honest, if it didn't get the attention that it did, people would have bought it. But anyway, we also had Game of the Year. My personal pick for Game of the Year, definitely Breath of the Wild. I mean, how can you not? Game of last year, I guess. But it was a fresh start that the Zelda games needed. I mean, Ocarina of Time's probably one of my favorite games, between that and Spider-Man 2. And don't get me wrong, I love the old playstyle of Zelda, but it was really nice and fresh to have a completely different title that just completely opened everything up. It was great, you know? If you haven't played it, definitely give it a go. It's worth it. It's getting all this praise for a reason. I mean, I haven't played Mario Odyssey yet, so I can't actually make a decision between which is better, Odyssey or Breath of the Wild. But considering that Breath of the Wild has been in development for so long, been hyped for so long, yet still succeeded so well, that's definite props. I mean, think of Star Wars Episode 7. I know they're quite a bit different, but Episode 7 was hyped up so much that when J.J. Abrams, when the film was out, everyone was hating on J.J. Abrams because it didn't live up to their expectations, because they were so hyped. It's sort of the same thing here, except, you know, a lot more mild. More tea. It's pretty early. Oh, it's not early. I've been up for ages. I need my tea. But yeah, when it comes to the Nintendo Switch, I don't actually have too many games. So we have two Nintendo Switch, or Nintendo Switch. I don't know what the fuck. It would be Nintendo Switches. So we got two in the house. One's mine and one's the family one. And between them, I have Pokken Tournament, Splatoon, Mario Kart. There's a few titles. I do need to pick up some more. Yeah, definitely let me know if you want to see me stream any of them. Head on over to my Instagram, Jordan_Reed, and I'll keep you posted. But Yeah, so like I said before, I've been playing Pokken quite a bit recently. It's a lot of fun. It's weird because it takes like the aspect of sort of like a 3D sort of fighting game and then turns it into a 2D. It's weird because they've got two different phases that you switch between. And I thought that was a really unique concept and I really liked it because I mean I play fighting games quite a bit. I always used to be massive like a massive fan of Street Fighter. Um, Always have been. And it's just sort of like a breath of fresh air to play that. And I know it's basically a port from the Wii U, but like I said before, no one played the game on the Wii U. So it was definitely good. Would recommend. But yeah, fighting games in general, I definitely want to get more into them. I mean, I'm learning a new character in Pokken at the minute, and just getting used to combos and frame data and option selects. It's taken quite a bit of patience. But yeah, definitely a lot of fun. Yeah, I need to play online at some point. It should be a laugh. But we also we got PlayStation VR quite a while back, and I watched some people play it for the first time the other day, and it really took me back. They were so shocked and amazed, and like that's what gaming's all about, you know, like to inspire and amaze. Like it was great just seeing them like totally freak out because they're in like a London heist and they're actually controlling everything. It was insane. Like I'm really looking forward to where VR goes in the future, where AR goes in the future. And that's just an interesting point of conversation. Like which is going to succeed better, VR or AR? And also, where are they going to be in 10 years? Because you got to think about it, none of these existed, 10 years ago? It's pretty crazy. VR, I think that will mainly be a gaming thing. That will always be a gaming thing. AR, on the other hand, I reckon that will be everything around the house will be related to AR. So, I mean, of course, you got your HoloLens. I mean, of course, that's not really going to take off, I don't think. But it's sort of a glimpse as to what people can actually do with AR, which is pretty crazy. Because, I mean, of course, you won't be able to walk around with a VR helmet on because you can't see shit. Whereas AR, you can. So, yeah, it's definitely interesting. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to the next segment. Which is questions from Instagram. You know, it's got to be done. We do these pretty much every week. Right, so the first question. How many times are you going to ask us for questions? Quite a lot. Quite a lot. It's not going to stop. It probably won't stop for a while. Next one. Meme. That's not even a question for a start. The next one. Your favourite game of the year? Well, if you go back and listen to the podcast, you will find out that, yeah, it was Breath of the Wild. And yeah, that's pretty much going to conclude it. I know it's been pretty short, but there really hasn't been too much on this week. I mean, when you delve a little deeper, there is, but at the same time, it's all stuff we've sort of gone over. But thank you so much for watching. If you're on iTunes, be sure to head on over to my Instagram, Jordan_Reed. Be sure to follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, or both if you're feeling generous, and stay classy. No, what is it? I came up with the catchphrase that's in all my iTunes descriptions. Stay tasteful, San Diego. Had to be done. Had to be done.